Hi, Mrs. H Psychology. Quick recap of our levels of measurement and which stats test to use. Okay, so let's have a look at these. Levels of measurement, right, there are three types: nominal, ordinal, interval, ratio. Quick recap: nominal, remember, is just literally a head count, a tally of the number of people who fit into a category. Ordinal are that bit of data that can be put into order or rank or position. The thing is, with ordinal data, we don't know the differences, the intervals between each rank. Okay, they're not equal definable size, so we don't know the differences between them. Whereas interval, the most precise, we know that the intervals are known and equal. That's how you define it. So for example, time in seconds, every second is equal to every other second. Ordinal, we don't know that. So let's have a look at this. In the decision on which data, which level of data to select, first of all, ask yourself, do the participants get a score? If the answer is no, they don't get a score, but they are the score, then it has to be nominal data. So for example, if we're looking at how many children are playing on the pavement versus how many children are playing in the street, that the children don't get a score out of 100, they are the score. Okay, so ask yourself, are they the score or do they get a score, e.g. out of 50 or out of 100? If they are the score, then it's got to be nominal data. If the answer is that they actually get a score, then we have to move on to the next decision. So that is, it's got to be either ordinal or interval. So how do you decide? First of all, is the score standardized? In other words, is every point on that scoring system equal to every other point? E.g., number of seconds. Seconds are all exactly the same. And they're not seen the same, but they are the same. And therefore, it's standardized. So if we have standardized data, for example, the measurement is how many seconds it takes, it's got to be interval ratio. The other thing is if they get a score and it's standardized, as in a standardized test of some sort, we are safe to use it as interval ratio data. However, if they get a score and you don't know that every point is equal to every other point on that scoring system, so some sort of questionnaire that is not standardized, we would say it's safer or better to treat it as ordinal data. You would have to justify it's better, it's safer to treat it as ordinal. And by the way, most questionnaires you get in your data are non-standardized. Okay, so therefore, most of the time, if they're getting a score and that's what's been measured, then it's very likely that it is ordinal data. Let's go on to the test then, which test to use. Okay, so this is the table that you should learn. Across here we have nominal, ordinal, interval, so going from worst data, the most imprecise to the most precise. Nominal first, then ordinal, and then we have the most precise interval ratio. Down here we have the designs, experimental designs. So we have repeated measures and matched pairs. It doesn't matter which one of those you do, because you'll see the tests are exactly the same. It doesn't matter which order you put those in. Those are called related because my scores in condition A are related to my scores in condition B, because repeated measures is me doing both conditions. Matched, it's somebody else doing one condition, me and the other, but we've been matched on relevant characteristics, and therefore that is also related because it's like my score in one being related to the other. Independent groups, obviously it's unrelated because it's my score against some completely random person in the other condition. Okay, so we say that's unrelated and independent groups there. And then we have correlations. So one of our decisions is whether we're looking for a difference, and all of these three lines here are looking for a difference. Correlations are just looking for a relationship. Okay, so it's a separate line. I'll show you this in a minute. So we know the designs, we know nominal, ordinal, interval. The only way we can use parametric tests, which are our most robust and sensitive tests, is if we have interval ratio data. There are other requirements, but that's the most important one, okay? And I can deal with those on another video. So parametric tests are just these ones here. All of these are what we call non-parametric. So how do we learn this table? Okay, my advice to my students is, first of all, just get your format. So we've got this in order, the different designs. We know a nominal, ordinal, interval, and these two lines are exactly the same. So we have sign test, Wilcoxon, and then related T, because remember we've already said these are related designs. Okay, so you learn those ones, cover, sketch it out, have a go at it. Once you've got those two lines, the next line becomes important. So independent groups, we've got chi-squared, Mann-Whitney, and then unrelated T. Again, it's quite nice and easy. So those ones are just unrelated because we've got an independent groups design. And then once you've got that done, just go on to your final line, which is the correlations. So we've got chi-squared, Spearman's and Pearson's moment, and just keep covering and checking that and having a go at it and checking, and you're literally in about 5 minutes you'll have learned that, and that's really important because it is going to come up on one of your papers for sure. So the other thing you will need to know is how do we justify our decisions. Usually it's for something like a 4 marker, so they ask you which test to use. The other thing you need is first to say, is it a different, are we looking for a difference or a correlation? These are the only correlation tests. These are all looking at difference. So that's our first decision. Have you spotted that it is actually correlational? Okay, otherwise it's going to be looking at the difference between one condition and another. Then you're going to justify it by saying which experimental design you're using. Have you spotted whether it's repeated, matched, or independent? And then what level of data. And each time you need to justify. It's nominal because, it's ordinal because, it's interval because. And then that is how you select your tests.